Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If your week has been anything like mine, I don't even know what to say. I have felt every feeling under the sun, thought every possible thought. This coronavirus has taken over our country, completely disrupted our daily life. People are out of work, bars and restaurants are closed, schools and universities have canceled classes indefinitely. It's just a very, very strange time. I feel like I haven't done a chatty manicure video in a while and I'm due. So before we start chatting, I want to quickly introduce the polishes that I'm going to be using before I forget. Hansen recently sent over the new sheer collection. It's part of their color therapy line. There are a ton of different polishes. Most of them are top and base coats and specific treatment polishes. Here we have a nail primer, a cuticle serum. This is one of the sheer colors. This is the nail corrector. This is a strengthening base coat. This is a high gloss top coat. This here is another sheer color. And then this is a strengthening top coat. So my nails right now, they're actually a mess. I haven't done them in days. I did a very quick manicure with some of these polishes. I actually did 2 coats of the nail corrector and then topped it with this sheer polish. It's called Give Me a Tint. So that's what I'm wearing on my nails right now. Today I just wanted to choose a couple of these polishes and chit chat with you while I did. Honestly, I really like this color. This is what's on my nails now. Give Me a Tint. I'm gonna do this again today. Instead of using the nail corrector as a base coat, I'm gonna use the strengthening base coat and the strengthening top coat. I don't know if I should pull the camera down as I do this or back it up so you can see. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's chat about the coronavirus really quickly. I know that's all anyone is talking about. It's the top news story. It is just the most relevant thing in the world right now, and it's very hard to ignore. And personally, I find it slightly irresponsible to ignore. It has to be addressed in some way, shape, or form. I made a video last week sharing a few ways to help keep your nails clean during this time, and I thought that was pretty relevant to this channel and the content that I usually produce. But then it quickly became, what do I talk about next? What do I share next? And I often find myself in this pickle when something terrible is going on in the world, or a traumatic event has happened, or there's been a major death, or, you know, the coronavirus. I find myself going silent. And I mentioned this on my Instagram last week. I just don't know the proper way to show up. I don't know if I should be sharing information more somber, if I should try to be more funny, or if I should try to just go about my daily life. And I think that there's a happy medium to that. Some people can really master it. I can't. I have a really hard time showing up, and I don't want to. I'm just trying to be cautious, respect and follow the rules the government has implemented, respect and follow the requests of my state government, and just take all the necessary precautions to stop this virus in its tracks. I am officially quarantined. I mean, I work from home most of the time. I do work part-time in a small office, and I have been going in 1 to 2 days a week, but that's it. I'm done with my grocery runs. I'm done with my Walmart runs. I'm done with my Target runs. I really haven't been going anywhere. And that's really all we can do right now is follow the rules. And it's really frustrating that it's so difficult for some people to grasp that concept, like just stay home. They don't understand how it works. And I'm not gonna act like I understand how the whole social distancing works, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to comprehend. Don't go out. You could be carrying a virus. You could be infecting other people. Those other people in turn can infect someone else. They could infect the elderly or someone who has a compromised immune system. Right now, things aren't about us. It's about everyone else. I have no problem heeding to those orders. And I'll be the first to admit, honestly, last Tuesday, after we had gotten back from vacation and all the coronavirus stuff was starting to really ramp up, I was like, this is insane. This is so crazy, so blown out of proportion. People are taking this way too seriously. And then come Thursday of last week, like literally 2 days later, my tune had completely changed. Total flip of the switch. I went into preparation mode. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to see anyone. I think that's what we should all be doing right now. But it's just crazy how much has changed from day to day. It started out like the flu. It's not nearly as bad as the flu, but then you start to see how contagious it really has become. I think once Tom Hanks contracted it, once the NBA was shut down, once the travel to Europe was suspended, once basically all the schools closed, it became a real thing, and we really don't have time to question it anymore. We really just have to stop it. All we can do is just go about life and try to be positive and just know that everything will return to normal at some point. The part that's really difficult for me and what I have found myself struggling with is content. I don't want to produce content that's solely based around the coronavirus. I feel like a lot of people are doing that, and it's great to capitalize at this moment and kind of share things that people are going to find helpful and useful while they're spending more time at home, but I don't want to completely stray away from what I normally do. So I'm gonna try to find a happy medium for me. You know, everybody is different and we're all gonna handle this differently. I know I've seen a lot of people on my feed who are just downright scared. They're really scared of this, and I'm not scared at all in the least bit. I'm not scared of catching the virus. I'm not scared of being quarantined. I'm a little concerned about how long it's gonna last and how many resources are gonna be made available to us. If they start closing grocery stores, if we are really on lockdown and, you know, the National Guard shows up and won't let us be on the streets, we can't be walking around, we can't be driving, that might be a little concerning. But right now, this is very tolerable. If we can just all follow the rules and stop this in its tracks, we'll find ourselves in a pretty good situation. That's really all I want to say about it directly. Indirectly, it's got me just reevaluating my content, reevaluating my goals, and reevaluating some of the projects that I had been planning to start and share. I don't know if I want to cancel them, expedite them, or maybe just put them on hold. When I got back last week, I had filmed 3 videos. While I was editing each one, they all became more and more irrelevant, and I just didn't feel like it was appropriate to post them at that time. But as we're all getting used to this new normal, I think people appreciate the regular content. And I'm trying to think of ways to be more creative. Everyone is going live now on Facebook and on Instagram. And let me know what you think, because I had this idea way before the coronavirus. I think my mom actually had this idea.
I'm gonna give you credit, Ange. I think this was all you.
I know that a lot of you like to watch these videos and do your nails with me as I'm doing mine. It's like chatting with a friend, which I think is awesome, and I love that. That's kind of why I created this series, and that's why I love to put these videos out. I do my nails every week, and why not just hop on camera while I do it? My mom, a while ago, had suggested that maybe I do a live mani, maybe like a live mani Monday. I thought it was a great idea. I just didn't know if people would really be into it. So this is where I'm proposing to you. If I were to do a live mani with me video, would you guys want to tune in? Would you be into it? Like if we set a date on the calendar, we decided we were all gonna get together, I was gonna go live, and we were gonna paint our nails at the same time, would you want to do it? Seriously, let me know. And if you think it's a good idea, let me know where I should stream it. Should I do a YouTube live stream, an IG live, or a Facebook live? Let me know what platform you utilize most. I kind of think it would be cool to do this on YouTube just because that's where my mani content really is all housed, but it could also be a good opportunity to get familiar with the Facebook live streaming as well. I think it would be really fun, really casual. Now that we're all stuck at home and we have to do our own beauty treatments, I doubt most of you guys are going to the nail salon. I don't think the nail salons are even open, so it could be a good opportunity to do our nails and hang out one night. So yeah, let me know what you think. I thought that was a really cool idea, and I think this might be the time to finally roll it out. It's currently Thursday morning. I'm hoping I can get this video up by Thursday evening, if not first thing tomorrow, mainly because so much has been changing from day to day. I just feel like I have to bang out my content as quick as possible and get it live. Because like I mentioned before, you know, I had a few videos ready to roll and I just felt like they were so silly and irrelevant by the time I was almost done editing them, and I just kind of trashed the whole project. My daily life hasn't changed so much in terms of work. Even as somebody who does work from home, I am adjusting to a new normal, I suppose. But I want to hear from you. I want to know what has changed the most in your life. Do you have kids? Are you now finding yourself homeschooling them? Is your job closed? Are you scared? Are you optimistic? Are you nervous? Are you kind of excited for the opportunity to have this free time at home? I love when people say they're using this extra time at home to organize that closet they haven't gotten to, or binge that series, or read a really good book. Before the library shut down, I actually went and grabbed 3 books that I had wanted to read, and I'm so scared that I'm gonna blow through them really quickly. I'm about halfway done with one of them. I'm trying to read more at night instead of spending so much time on my phone or on my computer or watching TV. I do want to put together a favorite books post. I get this request a lot because I do a pretty decent amount of reading, I think, and I used to share my favorite book of the month in my favorite posts on my blog, but I think I'm going to do a roundup of just all the books I've read and enjoyed over the last few years, just for anyone who's finding themselves in a really good reading groove right now, because I know once you get in that groove, you don't want to get out of it. You're just like hungry for more, and I love that feeling, because even if you're consuming like a trashy romance novel or a really good thriller, it's still entertainment, but you somehow feel smarter and more productive when you finish a book. But in addition to that post, I do want to put together a shows you should binge post, because I know that is like the #1 question everyone is asking. So I've been reading those posts and really appreciating them, and I love that so many of us have such similar taste in entertainment. So again, let me know below if you're reading or watching anything really, really interesting. I'm kind of at a halt with television shows right now. I do have a few on my radar. I do want to dive into The Stranger. I started watching the first episode one night, kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I do want to revisit that series. series. I'm also really looking forward to Ozark. Season 3 comes back towards the end of March, I think the 27th. We got into it hardcore last year, took a little break, and then revisited it in January, and have been anxiously awaiting the 3rd season. So if you haven't watched or binged that, highly recommend Ozark. Loved Succession. That is a freaking great show that's on HBO. Game of Thrones I binged last winter, and while I loved it so much last winter and was so appreciative to have this incredible show to sink my teeth into as we got through the really cold, boring, dark, dreary months,
I almost wish I had it now.
there is nothing better to binge right now than Game of Thrones if you haven't done it. So this is the polish. It's like a sheer bluish lavender color. This is 2 coats. 3 coats makes it a little more opaque and almost like a white. A couple of these still look a little bit streaky, but I think I'm gonna do 3. I don't know if it's everything going on in the world, but I have been having the weirdest dreams lately. Last night, I had a dream that I was graduating. I don't know if it was my high school or college graduation. It was so strange. All the people that were there, it was such an interesting mix. I was having it like upstairs at this restaurant. I just invited the most random people. I think my dream was prompted by all of these high school and college graduations that are now canceled. I feel so bad. In the grand scheme of things, it's not the biggest deal in the world. There are more important things, but it is an accomplishment and something that you want to celebrate. And I remember my high school graduation, my mom was like a complete and total basket case. She was just crying. She was so emotional. I'm the firstborn, and I can't even imagine, you know, having a child one day and not getting to see their graduation. That is literally one of the things that comes to mind the moment you have a baby. Their graduation day, their wedding day, all these things. Have that taken away not only from the children but from the parents. I really do feel for some of you. I think that's kind of where my dream came from. But in my dream, I had a graduation. It was so strange. Guys, I never got to post my recap of the Love is Blind reunion. It aired while we were in Aruba. I downloaded it for our flight home. I watched it on the plane, and the first video I filmed when I got home, I was removing a gel manicure and recapping Love is Blind. This was before coronavirus got super crazy, so that video was almost done and edited. I was gonna put it up, and then madness completely ensued, so I trashed it. I never got to give my final thoughts, and I know so many of you were just as invested in Love is Blind as I was. Highly recommend watching the first season of Love is Blind. If you haven't yet, it was just that show. I'm still so shocked that I was as captivated by that show as I was, because a show hasn't taken me like that in a long time. But I watched the reunion on the plane. I thought it was really anticlimactic for the most part. It was pretty much stuff we already knew. However, at the time, I didn't know that Damien and Gigi were still together. I thought that they may have reconciled after the show, but I did not think that they would be together today. That was kind of a shocker. Lauren and Cameron, there's really nothing to say about them. They are just the golden couple of the series. They're great. Everything about them is great. Mark and Jessica, obviously we knew where that was going. Kelly and Kenny, that whole situation was a little odd to me. She made it seem like she was hoping they would still have a chance after the show. She wasn't ready to give up on him completely, but they also came to an agreement that they would say, I don't. If I interpreted it correctly, it seems like Kenny moved on pretty quickly after the show, was really happy with where he is in life, and Kelly's still kind of stuck. And she said it best herself. She's always pushed away the guys that she should be dating, and I do think she kind of had that with Kenny. Unless Kenny was a really great actor, it seemed like he was very into her, and I loved them together. They just seemed like such a good match and really good people. Their families vibed. That one I was most upset about. Amber and Barnett, I am a little surprised are still together. I don't really know why. I don't really love them together. They weren't my favorite couple. Amber was probably one of my least favorite characters. She was a little too intense for me, but her and Barnett seem really happy, so I'm not gonna crap on their relationship whatsoever. If it works for them, it works for them. Jessica looked amazing at the reunion. Makeup was amazing. She was so present, coherent, responsible. Like everything she said was just the right thing. Amber lashing out at her was a little dramatic. I understand where she was coming from, but at the same time, I understood where Jessica was coming from. It was definitely inappropriate for her to be approaching Barnett all that time, and it must have been hard for Amber to watch it back after so much time had passed. But at the same time, everybody was still so fresh into this experiment. Feelings were still very raw and very real. It's not like Amber and Barnett had this beautiful committed history to one another. They had both been technically dating other people for the weeks leading up to their engagement. You know, it wasn't like they were exclusive. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I do understand where she was coming from. I think Jessica did the right thing by apologizing, and I'm sure it's all gonna be water under the bridge soon. Oh, Diamond and Carlton, I really didn't think they were necessary on the reunion. Carlton's a little bit manipulative. I'm so proud of Diamond for standing her ground, being kind and respectful, but at the same time, knowing her worth and knowing that she deserves so much better than the shenanigans that Carlton threw at her. She did mention how she thought Mark was really hot, and I think it'd be cool if they got together. It would be another success story from the show, but in a different way. I'm really curious to see if they're gonna come out with a season 2. I'm sure they are, but now that the show has been aired, you know, it's had such success, the next round of Men and Women is just gonna be people coming on trying to promote their careers or their businesses or looking for a little bit of fame, and that's really gonna take away from the whole concept of the show. I think why Love is Blind was so good was because people were going into it as just real people. Also, Nick and Vanessa, I don't think they really contributed anything to the series. And when it came to the reunion, like, they did not ask the burning questions that we wanted to know. I had to go watch all of the interviews from their press tour to kind of get answers to some of the other questions. Gigi's dirty dress, which she claims her and her mom cleaned before she went back to talk to Damien. I don't believe that for 1 second. That dress had a legit freaking dirt stain on it. She slid down a hill. It was like a dirt grass stain. No way. No way they cleaned it off. I really think that conversation happened before she ran away. But I digress. I also wish they asked about Damien's family. Gigi had never met Damien's family on the show, and it sounds like she still hasn't met them to this day, which I think is so crazy if they have been dating for well over a year at this point. Wish I knew more about that. Amber cleared up her credit card debt, her unemployment, and all that, and I think she had valid reason and didn't deserve all the crap she got. Jessica, poor Jessica, really didn't participate in the media tour whatsoever, and I don't blame her. She got the short end of the stick. That poor girl dragged through the ringer. I did hear that she wanted to leave the show. She was in Mexico and she wanted to leave. The producers wouldn't let her. I'm guessing they wouldn't let her because if she left, she wouldn't get paid. I can't imagine they were holding her there against her free will, but that's why she stayed, and that's kind of why she drank herself to oblivion for the remainder of the season, which makes sense. And if that is the case, I'm sure Mark knew, so why was he trying so hard to make her stay? It just must have put her in a really awkward situation. My nails are dry. I'm so happy they're done. I just put the top coat on a couple minutes ago. They feel pretty dry to the touch. They are so short right now. In my St. Patrick's Day video where I swatched all the greens, they were at honestly a perfect length, and then that afternoon I ripped my pointer finger, like literally ripped it on something, a zipper, I don't know, and it broke so deep that I had to trim it down significantly. So then I had to trim down the rest of my nails. So I'm going through another stint of mani rehab. A lot of you guys have DM'd me saying that you're taking this quarantine as an opportunity to rehab your nails as well. I think I'm definitely gonna do some videos on that, about the vitamins that I'm taking, the products that I'm using to help them grow long and strong, and we can kind of go through that journey together. Let me show you my nails real quick. So here they are. I am glad I did that third coat. Almost like a light blue, gray, lavender shade. This is 3 coats of color with a base and top coat. I love them. They're just really simple, basic, nothing crazy. So that is really it, guys. Go ahead and answer some of those questions in the comment section below. Just let me know how you're feeling and how I can bring some light to your life during these really weird, kind of dark times. Don't be scared. We're all gonna be okay. Take care of yourself. Try to stay away from people as much as you can right now. Wash your hands, keep stuff clean. It'll all be good. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I'm really hoping that I can throw up more videos than normal during this time. I'm gonna do my best to buckle down and do that. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to let me know what you think about the live stream mani with me, because I think I'm gonna do it. Makes me a little nervous. I'm actually really nervous to do it, but let me know if you would tune in or if you think it's a good idea. And I think that's it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.